Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxchair, on the show this evening is the one and only Albert and the legend. Yes, the legend. That's Southside. How we doing, gentlemen?
Hi, good evening, Ox. Good to be on a Friday night with Albert. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening on Facebook and YouTube.
Evening, Albert.
Hi, good evening, Ox and Southside. Albert calling live now for the Crucible. Just called in there.
Yes, I had to get security on that. I've got to watch this, the safety of the panellists, mate. 3 of the panellists in the one room at the one time. It's security risk, so we'll have to have a look at that dangerous. Going forward.
It's a dangerous situation, mate.
Yes. I've just had a test from our Northwest correspondent. He says, is that the dog or is it on the day?
I don't have a dog, mate. I don't have a dog. I don't do any dog walking.
That's what makes it so strange, mate, if I'm being honest.
I told you we shouldn't have stopped there. You're saying in 5 minutes, it'll be fine. We'll not get seen.
You two kind of did nothing and I hear about it. Nothing. Anyway.
I can't move, mate.
Great these are playing sport and being active. It's good, mate. Good, really good. Getting ready for the Rangers Radio Superstars. You might take a bit of beating in the doubles at the crib.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. I'm good at crib, actually. That is my game.
Aye. Good game, mate. Good game. Right, Southside. International break. We don't like it. We don't. Did it come at the right time for us?
That's a good question. We had a bit of momentum. Although the players were getting tired, I think. So I'm thinking about it just when you've asked it. It possibly has, because we're probably going to get some extra players back and it'll give them a bit of time to work with the squad and get us even sort of better prepared on what we've been seeing on the strategy and the style. So it probably has, Ox, for the amount of games that the players were playing there back to back.
Albert?
For the ones that were looking tired and a bit jaded, provided they're not going to international duty. But for the momentum, breaking the momentum, no, it wasn't a good time for us. But again, you've got to look at the manager. He needs some time with his players to start implementing some of his ideas in greater detail. So I suppose it is. I'd hate to say it, mate, because I hate the international break.
I don't disagree with you. I don't think that's like himself. Do you think, Albert, it's possible that if he gets him on the grass, his message that we could improve by, 5-10%? Is that fair?
Aye, I think that's more than possible, mate. Definitely. I think I'm not expecting that we come back and be Real Madrid or anything like that, but I'm expecting that we be more comfortable in what they're supposed to be doing, because I still think there's a couple that are not quite getting it. And I think what we'll work on is the press itself. I mean, I think especially on the triggers, because there's certain players out of position when you set a trigger, the trigger's not going to work, or the press is not going to work. Sorry, mate. So I think things like that he'll be working on vigorously, let's say. But I don't know how many away players we've got away. I can't remember how many international players we've got away. See King and Devine's away under 21s. The Southside, they said they were playing tonight.
Aye, young McCausland played for Northern Ireland, so
did he?
On the boys. Aye, he played for 60 minutes.
Oh, good. What was the score with them?
Lost 4-0, mate.
Oh, that's. They have him playing at centre half or something.
And goal, mate. Big Butland's jersey. What I read, he done okay. Never seen it, but he done okay. But he had a lot of injuries and playing against an experienced Finnish team, Glenn Kamara, and guys that's been about for a while. Southside, is that fair that Big Phil, the Princess, Fox calls him, will get his message across and prove us with working on his shape and the grass when the players have come back refreshed? What do you reckon?
I think
they'll give them maybe tomorrow, maybe?
I think he said he gave them a day or two, and then they would get. I think he said somebody would be back in, and they'd get 2 or 3 days off, and then they'd be back. But the thing was, they said they were all going to get a programme. So the ones that had to catch up, he says, on the fitness levels would get a more strenuous programme to work on even when they were off in the 3 days. So he looks like he knows he'll be working with the medical team in the break, that he can get some of these players a bit more fitness into them. And hopefully when they come back onto the park, it'll benefit the man does. Somebody like Matondo as well, it'll be on his way back. So he'll probably have a schedule to work to, and hopefully by the time this Sunday comes, we might see him in the squad, because that's how quickly the game's going to come along, a week on Sunday. So, it'd be good to get him and Raskin. Tom Lawrence will probably get a bit more fitness into him, and he'll get more tactical knowledge put into him as well, since he's been out injured, and just instructions for what the manager wants. Oxen, that's good preparation for him, I think.
Aye, that's the way to go. I think individual programmes. I've got one for you for Garter Street. I'll bear up and down there in a tuba grip for Southside for his calf.
Aye, don't worry about him, his calf. He goes over my shoulder halfway through it. I mean, last quarter of a mile, I'm carrying on. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Oh, listen, it's just a calf.
Did you see the wee donkeys that carry the bricks of the advert? No, I'm one of them. That's me with him on my back.
He wanted one of the wee buggies on the back of the guy's bike the other day when he was cycling around the park. He says, I'll do that. I says, I was thinking I was getting in the back. He says, no, you can cycle, I'll sit in the back. Thought he was giving me a break for my calf strain, man.
Oh dear, we'll see you to at the next Olympics. I don't know what as, but we'll see you at the next Olympics. Right, aye. So
I was never so worried, Ox. I was never so worried. I sat in a bench for a rest. I've never experienced it before. A man sits beside you and goes in his pocket and brings a tube of ointment out. What's the whisking on here, man? I says, that's my calf. He said, I was never so relieved, I'll tell you.
Yes, well, used to. I was going to say something about it.
No, you can't say nothing.
Right, we'll go back to the football.
Right, back to football.
I'm putting off a bit used to the chatting Victor at Rangers Radio. Right, so we if we improving the grass, guys are getting fitter. I think the break maybe did come at the right time, even for the manager to refresh, because it would have been not a whirlwind Southside.
Since he got in the door when he arrived and got the job, probably he's not even the time. I don't know if he's settled in a house or that, his family's here or whatever, so it was a whirlwind for him as well as the players that have just came across as well. So working with the previous manager and then getting instruction for the new manager and the start of a season and just trying to get to know what the club's about and the support, and some of them weren't turning in the performances that they should have been, miles off it. So, I think it's good just for the manager to get his feet back in, talk to the players that only have been international duty, but it's just to get clear instruction into them, and they seem to be happy with it. They seem to be all taking it in. They seem to be responding well to it. So it's just about just feeding them with more with information, and hopefully we'll get some of the injured players back, and that'll just make our squad better, healthier, and a bit more competition to try and get back in the team.
So who is injured at the moment then? We've got Suter, Matondo, Raskin, Roof. Is that it? 4?
Roof's not injured, he's on the bench now.
He's on the bench, that's right. He's not come on, but we'll get 3 players injured, is that right?
Yeah, John Sterling.
Scott Wright as well. I forgot about Scott Wright. 4?
4, aye.
It's not excessive at this time of the season, Albert, is it?
No, but you've got to remember, he's stuck them all in that container and switched on the oxygen, you know what I mean? So he's got a few of them back. About 3 weeks ago, it was just sitting with just 4, it was about 8. But he's definitely clearing up this. I'm giving it to him, he's clearing it up. All he's doing is asking the question of the medical staff and fitness brigade. And it's all starting to come together now, because he's not going to tolerate this, mate. He's not going to tolerate these people lying on that sickness bench or in the treatment room for great lengths of time without real reasons for it happening. There is real reasons that players get injured, but come on. Whereas that's just no natural, by the way. Nobody carries that amount of bad luck. No team should carry that amount of bad luck. So we're down to 4, and I think it's down to Clermont that we're down to 4.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how far they are. I mean, he talked about Raskin and was it Raskin and Wright coming back after the international break, if I remember right, for one of the interviews just a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago, Southside.
I don't know if Raskin went away. I would like to think he didn't go away, considering he's been injured. But I don't know whether he went away in international duty or not. But the fact he's been injured for club, then I'd like to think we could have said, well, no, you're not risking yourself in a game. You'll have an important game to come back and try and be fit for the club. Scott Wright took a couple of hefty ones in the last game and he struggled since then. And like we say, Matondo been out for a few weeks, but he did say he was back in light training just there last week, so looks like he'll probably be ready to go as well, Ox. And I suppose if Roof turns up, he turns up, and if he doesn't, he doesn't.
Aye. I don't know about the list you've been working on this, but you've had the cranes out again, Albert.
Aye, I've got 30. I've marked off 30 players. We're up to 30 players again.
First team players.
Aye, first team players. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe up for renewal, contract renewals. And I'm just wondering if any bid, as we said earlier on, if any bid comes in for them, no matter how little, I think they'll be off. I don't think there's any in there that's going to stay.
Name your seven.
McLaughlin, Balogun, Barisic, Jack, Lundstrom, McCausland, and Roof. We did have Wright, but Big Seamers is on loan, so I never put him in there. So
right, 18 months, yeah.
Aye. He's getting more time. I don't know Lowry. I don't know how long he's got in his contract. So I've marked him, do Ham and Hadji into the first team as well, into the first team squad. So I don't know. So out of the rest of them, how many would you keep? McLaughlin, I wouldn't keep. No, I wouldn't keep him. I'd definitely try and get rid of him in January. Barisic, I would try and get rid of. Balogun, I would keep. Jack and Lundstrom, now that's a good one. I'd only try to get rid of them in this window. I don't always agree, as if he come in and brought somebody in to strengthen the midfield, because if they two day go, we get offers and they go, you'll definitely need to strengthen the midfield. There's no doubt about that. You can't go to the rest of the season with the midfield players we've got left. As for McCausland, definitely keep McCausland, no doubt about it. That boy should be on a contract now. They should be doing everything to keep that boy.
I think you might hear news of that within the next 10 days, Albert.
I'd be really disappointed if he didn't, mate. Honestly, I really would, because I rate that boy. I know I'm banging on about him, but I do rate the boy. I think he's going to be cracking. And Roof, if you get an offer for Roof, I think Southside's the same. Bethies would drive him wherever he wanted to go. Know what I mean? The guy, great player and all that, but they good.
Well, it depends if you think about it. If it was an automatic, he couldn't drive it with his calf, and Roof couldn't drive it. You'd need the other driving, Albert.
Oh, aye.
I'd like to see if we can get Hadji back for January. If we keep Roof to the summer, and then we can get the ABBA song back. Just need to fill something in at the end for Bassey.
That was a good tune, wasn't it? You must admit, Southside, it was a good tune.
That's a good one. I wish we could just add a couple of different players in, make it rhyme right, and it'd be good.
Right.
Do you want to sing it? I can't remember it.
No, he's not answering that one.
I was just clearing my throat there, actually.
Oh dear. Aye, that was a good chant, you know. They all came about within a few weeks of running about that back end of that season. It was all building up on it. Right, so aye. Let's go back through them. John McLaughlin, well, he's not getting a sniff, and you know, we might be losing 2 goals potentially Southside, you know what I mean?
I think young boy McCrory will probably be here this summer, I would think, unless somebody come in for a bid in January. Because I think he knows he's going to be a long time to try and get into the first team unless something happens to Jack Butland. He's just come in and he's took the position and the stature and the experience. He's at the right age, and you see what he's produced on the park for us. So at the moment, Robbie will have a hard act to remove him. And the other boy, I think, is Kieran Wright. He's 24 years of age. So he's no fit. 24.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. Sure he is. Sure, he's 24. I'll probably get slaughtered here. He'll not be, but I think he is.
We'll check
Has
it.
he been with Rangers all that time then? This is the boy.
We'll check it out, but let's just check it out. So then you've got Barisic, and we talked about it also last night. You know, I think left back's a position we need to sort. It's not our priority. We're going to have it's going to be interesting. Albert, I mean, if Barisic decides if an offer comes in January, would you happy just for everyone?
No, Dow will go to left back, mate. Convinced that the guy's a left back. And I think you'll find that your man will try him there. Because he's ideal for exactly what we want a left back today. He'll deal with Tav's doing, because that's what we want. We want Tav up the park. That's what everybody seems to think is the right thing today. And I think what Clermont's team is going to be like that. He's wanting his fullbacks up the park. So Dow, he's skillful. He's reasonably quick. He's no bad in the air. He's brave. He gets his cell up and down. He's got a good engine, and he's no fear to attack him. So
how do you know that? How do you know that?
Well, the brief time I've seen him, he just gets tore right in. It's just everything you want. I can see anyway. Sorry, I mean, I've only seen what you've seen. I've not seen any Merriam or looked up and down south or anything like that. But I just think he fits the criteria to be a left back. In the short term, anyway. Put it this way: if you've only got limited money to spend, if any money to spend in January, and I would say he would do as a makeshift left back, and then look at left back in the summer. If you're only going to bring in one or two players, and I think that's what it's going to be, bro. And if any.
I agree, it'll not be major. Is it fair, the left back situation? Do you think that's a fair comment outside, or do you see it different?
Albert has mentioned it a few times. I think he can tackle. I think he's got an engine. I think he's got good vision. But Albert, we watched him playing the number 10 position, albeit it was against Airdrie. But he done well in that. He was skillful. He could see the pass. He was opening things up, holding the ball in. So in the Rangers first team, if Todd Cantwell wasn't getting the number 10 position and Lammers wasn't in there's no reason why Kieran Dale couldn't go in and play in that position. That's where he seems to want to go in and sort of play around about a bit further up. I think he's ideal for the left. I think he's ideal in the midfield three on the left-hand side. I think he's got a good engine and he can get forward and he's not scared to shoot. He was unlucky at Kilmarnock in the game that he played. That day we were rotten. At least he had a couple of efforts at goal. One took a deflection, just went over the crossbar and that. But then he gets injured and then we don't see him. And then everybody just thinks, nah, he's always injured, he's no good, no that. But I think if we can stay fit, I think he'd be a Clermont type player. I think because he'll work and he'll graft. So I think that's somebody he would probably want to put in his team.
The only trouble with the number 10 is we're awash with number 10s, let's be honest about it. We're up to our eyes in number 10s. We've got number 10s for Africa. It's that many of them. So I would say, he can play number 10. He can play in the midfield. I would just like to say, well, I think he'd try him at left back.
Would also help him to get him in the first team if he was fit.
Exactly.
But now he's moving into December, and let's be honest, the guy's not been fit.
Well, he is back now. You'll see him. He'll be back because he played. That's 2 games he played.
Kieran Wright shares a birthday with you, Albert, 1st to the 4th, and he'll be 25 next April.
Same age. 1st to the 4th. What's the 1st to the 4th? All right.
So he was 24 then. He's 24.
Well,
that's a long time, isn't it, to be at Rangers and no really
so
make
we've had him as a boy. A boy, aye.
He was. I remember him.
24. He's not a boy now. He's not a boy now. So we've had him since he was a boy. Or have we signed him for somewhere?
He made his debut over 2 years ago. Yeah. You know, bizarrely.
See, this is the problem, isn't it? This is the problem we've been going about for a while now, that these boys need to understand. I've been on about it for a while. We've done it with the boy Mayo, doing it at Kilmarnock. These boys can't mince about any longer. Their time's now. They're not breaking into these teams or getting close to these first teams. They're letting their careers just drift away into oblivion. This is all earning power for these boys. That's what I would be. If I was their father or if I was their, agent, That's what I'd be saying. You're just letting your earning power drift away from you, son. Don't sit in a bench. Get yourself on a team. Tell them you want to go out on loan or ask for a transfer away. Don't waste your time anymore. You've done your apprenticeship. You've been in the Rangers Academy. You've come right through probably all the grades. And you're now 20 years of age and you're no looking at it. Clement hinted on it as well at 20. Well, he's not a boy, is it? That's what he said. He's calling him young Ross McCausland now. But that's because we're all calling, or the press are calling him. But you're not a boy at 20, man. No. You're playing against boys at 20, 19, 18, 17, even 16. We've played boys in the European games. So why is our boys not that far forward? They should be, and they need to do it themselves. They can't be spoon-fed other lives. And I think some of them are good enough anyway. I'm not going to get into it and harp on about it, but they definitely need to push forward. They really do.
Right. We'll move on to Balogun that you mentioned, yeah.
Yep.
So Balogun, I mean, obviously it'll depend on his fitness, the number of games he's played, and maybe you would give him another year Southside if he's fit, healthy, and keeps playing and plays well. Maybe.
No, I wouldn't. No. We need freshness, we need energy, we need somebody that can come in and play, get their money, and they play week in, week out. And they're an upgrade on Balogun as much as he's done pretty well since he's been in. But no for me. We need young athletes, real men, football players. Something different, Ox. But he's done his a turn, and he probably will going forward. And because he'll probably come into the team at some point. There'll maybe be an injury, or they might use him tactically or whatever. But he'll be needed anyway as the season goes forward. But I wouldn't begin him another year's contract after the summer. But
interesting to see what he does who he starts up at Pittodrie.
I think he'll play Ben Davis.
Interesting. Alba.
I will have a put the situation with Balogun get wasted with Beale. The guy was, I think he was ways for that a year, wasn't he? Or was it 2 years he's been ways? Anyway, he was say a year. He was ways the year, done really well. What possibly 2 year, but it may have been 2 year, right? Because I think he was there with the one in the 55, wasn't he? I can't remember. My memory's terrible when it comes to that. Anyway, see.
He came in the start of the 55 season, yeah?
Aye, so that was what, 2021?
Aye.
Right. So he had that year, and he has another year, and then Beale let him go. That third.
Wasn't it Beale? No.
Who didn't he renew his contract then?
Broncos.
Was it?
Aye.
Well, he's ruined it. It's Van Bronckhorst that ruined it then, because he should have still been at Ibrox when we let him go. And they'd have probably had that year and this year. And you'd have said that'd have been plenty then. I agree with Southside. I don't think he'll get another contract. I don't think he should get another contract. But he does a turn for us. You've got to admit that. He does a turn for us when he comes in. I like him as a defender. I think he's a great defender. Again, one we should have got maybe 10 years ago.
Aye. He's had some tremendous games for us, you know. He gives you everything. Is he the best centre-half we've ever had? No, he's not, but you know, try to get your best ever. It's difficult in every position. Then you move into your other two. And maybe the ones that'll take a bit of talking about. Jack and Lundstrom, like with David Ray, I think he's in the exact same boat with Balogun. I'm not saying I would give Balogun a contract or Jack. But the manager might think about it if they're fit and playing well for him between now and the end of the season. Southside.
Aye, he might. But what age will Jack be? 29? Round about that?
He's older than that. No, he's older than that, mate.
30 maybe.
End
of this year, 30.
Give me a second, I'll use it out.
But he's done all right. He's had a couple of games. He's been all right. He's got the experience in that. But we need to change this midfield. We can't have Ryan Jack hanging about. He'll just no for me, Ox. Lundstrom, don't know what he'll do with him. It might suit him. He's a big sort of powerful player. He's talked about height and that and defence and in the team, but I think you'd probably move him on as well. I think we probably could, but if he's one of the ones he keeps and he starts performing to what he was in the sort of Europa League run, playing a lot better, but he's played a bit better since he's come back under Clement. So it'll be up to him, Ox, and if he keeps any of the players, one or two of them, then I'll get my support. But we're hoping that he'll you'll totally change this squad going forward. We'll see it our 2 transfer windows, probably 3.
No.
We'll see
It's
all down to him, mate. And if they're performing for him and he sees the right attitude and they're doing exactly what he wants them to do, Pacific job, then we can't argue about it. And if a team's winning, then so be it. That's what you want. At the end of the day, we just want to see a winning Rangers team.
Jack will be 32 next February, mate.
Aye, well, no contract for me then.
No, we'll give him a 4-year deal.
Aye. If Wilson was there, it would be definitely the 4-year deal. No, and Jack for me, no. And Lundstrom for me, there's one big flaw that I've got with Lundstrom, real big, huge flaw, and that's why I wouldn't give him a contract, as he chucks it. He's proved it 2 or 3 times, mate. He chucks it. When the going gets tough, he just collapses and disappears. I don't like him for that. I mean, you've seen it. You've actually seen it on the park, mate. It's not that you're making it up. We've all seen it. His head goes down. In fact, his head goes down when you say, this is the hard yards now. This is the really difficult bit. This is the bit you don't give up. And he gives up. So for me, he's not good enough, mate. Just something. No. He is playing well now. I'm not saying he's not playing well now. But when Clement has said it's going to be a bumpy ride. You're going to have highs and lows in this journey, which is fair enough. We all expect that. So what he's looking for is when it gets hard. Like the Hearts game, for example, 1-0 down, 10 minutes to go or whatever, and you dig in and win the game. I mean, that shows a positive. That's what he's looking for. Adversity, see how you come through it. For me, Lundstrom's still got that big question mark. It's not a question mark, it's a fact. I know what he'll do. He'll collapse. Sorry, mate, if I all use Lundstrom lovers out there.
He's on this show, he's known as John Lundstrom.
Oh, Lummy. Or Lunny. It was shameful that day you're talking about Albert at St Johnstone away. And he gave the ball away, the one with Sakala, and then decided I need to go eventually chase back. Tav made a rip roaring, and then he scored a goal for it, and then he's turning around and just blaming Sakala. You know, he's
already done it this year and all.
His attitude will change probably.
I'm just going to let you know, it doesn't work if the 2 years.
I know, sorry.
Right. Carry on, Southside.
You're right, Albert. His attitude will probably change, but he might want a contract because he's at the club where he's going to where he's at now, and he knows how good it is. So, and he gets decent money for it. So, if he does the things that Clement wants, then he might be one of the players that he keeps. And as long as he performs, then he'll be there. But I'd like to think that we'll change the 2 of them. We've got Cifuentes, and we're hoping that he'll start to produce something going forward in time under Clement. And you've got Raskin.
He played international football today,
So you've got him, we've got Raskin, we've got Cantwell, we've got Dill. And then hopefully we'll add another midfielder in time into that midfield, and it starts to get a freshness about it.
And you come over.
Well, I've got the midfielders: Raskin, Jack, Lundstrom, Cantwell, Cifuentes, Lammers. I've even put in there Lawrence, Dowell, Hadji, and Lowry. That's the midfielders I've got. So that, to me, that's a completely imbalanced midfielder there. Because if you get rid of the 2, Jack and Lundstrom, you've no water carriers. Then you've no actual what do you call it? The unsexy position. It's just the guys that dig in and win the ball back and get to the football players type players. So we'll definitely need them renewed. That I'm with Southside. I definitely think that you've got to upgrade them anyway. Even if he's going to keep them maybe for a year, you've still got to upgrade them sometime. I don't know how you feel about that.
All right, get yourself some mute, lads.
In 2022-23, over 39,000 homeless applications were made in Scotland. That is over 3/4 of Ibrox Stadium, and it is happening right in the heart of our own communities. This year, I have decided to take on the big Ibrox sleepout, and I will experience the nightly conditions experienced by those on our streets. The proceeds raised will be split between Glasgow City Mission, who are aiming to tackle homelessness, and the Rangers Charity Foundation, supporting Christmas initiatives with vulnerable young and old people providing assistance for young people's employability and work for causes such as Glasgow Children's Hospital Charity. If you wish to donate what you can, please go to tinyurl.com/Rob Sleepout. No matter how big or small a donation, it could be life-saving or changing for someone. Thank you.
All I'm seeking is your time. Help me make it through the night.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Oh, as it builds up to the big sleep out, we're being joined by young Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ox. How you doing, pal?
I'm all right. Lovely morning. What about you all better?
What's that, mate? I'm fine, mate. How you doing, Robert?
Not bad, mate.
Right. What you thinking? Getting close now? You thinking, oh, what have I done?
No, I'm enjoying the heat tonight, first of all. But no, looking forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be a cold one, but certainly looking forward to it. It's come up a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be.
You'll enjoy the heating a lot better on Sunday nights outside, but good effort, isn't it?
Aye, it's a great effort, Robert. Wish you all the best. Hope it's not too cold for you. But it's a birthday cause, mate, definitely. And well done.
I think folks done it with just a pair of sannies and a fit bus strap. Folks done it.
And he's never recovered since.
I'll be putting a few more layers on, I think, but nothing too warm. I want to get a full experience. But no, as I said, looking forward to it. So if anybody has donated, I really do appreciate it. As you boys have said, it's a worthy cause. I'll try and get some videos and photos tomorrow night as well and get them on the social media, things like that as well. But there's still time to donate if you wish to do so. Just on the link, I'll get the boys in the background to pin it to the Facebook chat. But again, appreciated.
No, really, we're proud of you, mate, for doing it and taking the time and doing it as a worthy cause. And we've all pulled your leg, but we're proud of you.
That's sorry, I appreciate it. I don't mind a leg pulling down again.
Aye, not just yourself, all the best to everybody who's taking the time and the effort to do it, and maybe focus the minds outside. I know that some of your family have done work in the past.
Aye. No, as I said, it's a birthday cause. And anybody you meet in the street, if you take the time, sometimes know the ones that are at it, as we know, we see plenty of them up the tune, but genuine people have hit a rough time and are on the streets, and sometimes when you take time to talk to them and that and speak to them, it can touch you listening to a wee bit of their story and how they managed to get there. But no, Robert, hopefully you've done well, son, and you'll only do it tomorrow night, and I wish you all the best.
Right, young Robert's left us. He's left a message. He just wants to thank everybody's donated so far, and I hope everybody can dig deep. Doesn't matter how much you. No donation too big or too small, just to get them up to a decent total. But well done to them all, better. Oh,
it's a great effort, mate. A great effort. I've not got donated myself yet, but we'll definitely do it.
Ditto.
It's well done to Robert. I know he's not done it yet, but the intention to go and do it, and I'm sure he will complete it. And it's some effort, mate. It really is.
Aye, maybe used to next year.
Next year?
I couldn't date with him. He'll be lying all night, eating about aches and pains, and my calf's sore, my head's sore.
I said, I've got a calf strain, that's it. Don't matter. I'm no melting that, am I? It was genuine. I wasn't melting it. It was genuine. You knew that.
It's an injury, mate.
It just shows you how long it takes for him to recover, doesn't it?
Calf strain, he's my playing snooker.
Aye, that's how. Because the calf strain's kicked out, I had better go somewhere just to play snooker. I couldn't walk today, could we?
No, we couldn't. I was actually shattered when I got home tonight.
That must have
go for a wee
counting
sleep.
up size breaks.
You played well with it. You do. Anyway,
Anyway, Lundstrom and Jack, right? Here's how I see it. Ryan Jack, 32, done well for us. Win a game another year. Nah. Even if he played now between now and the end of the season, I know you'd always be tempted. Lundstrom, if he played well between now and the season and the manager likes him, maybe look at it. I don't know. Southside?
Listen, if it's good, if Clement says he wants to keep him up, then we'll just have to support him. That's it. If he sees that he's going to do a job for him, any Rangers player gives it, because at the end of the day, we just want to see a winning team. So if he gives him a contract, I wouldn't like to give him a 4-year contract, if I'm honest. Probably give him a 2-year deal and see how he takes that. But going forward, Ox, as I said, any of the players we think that should leave and he wants to keep, then we'll just need to go there.
All right. We've been joined by Gary. Evening, Gary.
Hi, Ox. Evening, Southside and Old Bear. Nice to be on again. Just about the point about John Lundstrom. Yeah, it would be a no for me. Exactly the reasons Old Bear had stated for such a long time. Not just his play, but more importantly, his attitude was so wrong that he suddenly gets this wee magical lift under the new manager. And we've had guys like that in the past. I mean, if memory serves, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Lovenkrands used to do a similar thing where when it came up to contract renewal time, he'd suddenly magically up his game? I just think we can do better than Lundstrom. Why not put Bailey Rice in that position? Someone who's young and hungry and got kind of more ability. I know he had that kind of good European run, but Lundstrom's let the side down too often, in my opinion. So, no, for me, I wouldn't be renewing his contract.
Albert?
I was with you all the way there, Gary, right up to Bailey Rice. I was with you 100%. Mate. Talk about Bailey Rice in a minute. I agree with you with Lundstrom. I definitely agree with you, mate. And there is other players over the past. Chelsea comes to mind for me. Plays garbage. Last 4 months of his contract, all of a sudden he turns into the player we know he is. Lundstrom's a bit like this at the moment. No, I mean he put a sprint on against Hearts at Hampden that nobody ever seen him doing before. If he'd put that same sprint on against that separate mob, they probably wouldn't have scored that second goal. We might even get a draw at that game. But anyway, it's in the past. But we're going to Bailey Rice. No, not for me, mate. I watched the boy away Southside. We done it. Greenock against Airdrie, and somebody needs to have a talk with that boy because his work rate is zero, mate. Absolutely zero. He needs to. He's never getting a Clement team with the work rate and attitude he's got at the moment, mate. He really needs to change it. He really does. He's a nice passer of the ball, but all he wants to do is stand back deep and fire 40, 60-yard passes. No, the Hollywood ball. That's what he wants to do.
I know, David. The graph side of the game.
No, he really doesn't, mate. He really doesn't. So he needs to. It's not that he can't change his attitude and get his work rate up, but at the moment he's nowhere near it.
I just knew Albert was going to say that, Gary. I just knew. We watched that. He wouldn't have known he was on the park in the first half against Airdrie. Cole McKinnon, Aaron Lyle, Kieran Dill, and who's the other one? Can't remember. But there was another boy. Day 4 were on the ball all the time, and Bailey Rice in the second half just knocked him. He's a good passer of the ball, and he did knock some good 30, 40-yard passes, but his work rate was non-existent. All the boys were running around about him, and he was just wanting to sort of get the ball. He's young, and it might have just been that night, that's what he was doing. He might have a bit more work rate than in other games, because the time before it we never saw him, but he is a standout at that level. But he would have to up his work rate, and for me, I would probably try and say Aaron Lyle, and I think Albert would agree. Aaron Lyle could come into that team and try and get in it, or at least give him some game time, and like you see what he's got, because the boy's got good wee tricks. He's got a great passer of the ball, shows a lot of heart and endeavour. But Clement touched on it. Some of the young boys will have to show it and stand up. So I know he's about the first team, but that boy has certainly got potential. He's 20 as well, the same as Ross McCausland. plays in behind Ross McCausland. They've got a good understanding in the B team with Lovelace and all. And the only one that was missing was Archie Stevens. He's another good B player. So I'd like to think that out the boys that we've seen in the B team, one of the fullbacks isn't bad as well, Jack Hartness. I'd like to think that we could push them. I know Devine's been in and round about it, but he's no there again. So there's a few of them there, and I hope Clement maybe has a look at them, tries to get them, maybe no going forward now. You might not get them into the first team, maybe like Aaron Lyle, but he's been on the bench at Dundee and that, and hopefully as long as he's training with the first team, shows the right attitude, then hopefully maybe you'll see him come in, maybe before Bailey Rice.
I like the sound of that. I mean, do you think, guys, that with Clement, do you think it's, which I think would be a good thing, do you think he'll rank attitude? This may sound a strange thing to say, but do you think he'll rank attitude over ability? Because to me, it's been the attitude of the players that's let them and us down in the past kind of couple of years. We know what they can do, but the attitude has been so far off it. It's been unbelievable. And I think with Clement, I wonder if he'll maybe look at, the first thing he would look at is someone's attitude over there. Because ability, you can kind of be coached to being a wee bit better than maybe you are. But that attitude, I think, is something that has to, a manager can inspire you and stuff, but it's kind of got to come from within the player, I reckon. And that's where so many of our signings have just kind of fallen well short.
Go back to your original point, and then we'll come to that, because you made a good original point that we've not touched on. Lundstrom, south side, quickly. And then we'll go back to Gary's next point.
As in what you're saying about your attitude, no, aye.
No, but Lundstrom, P agreed with Albert. Your thoughts?
Aye, I've said I would get rid of him. I would. The only reason I said I would stick with him if the manager keeps him and wants to take him forward and gives him a contract. That'll be up to him. We've got to support him then, can't he? I mean, he's making the decision, but I think the fact he's watched a lot of the games and all that, and he he said they've all got a clean slate, but for me, he let us down too many times. The other players did it as well, not just him, but for chucking out that day at St Johnstone and all, and other games that I've watched him, I would just let him go in the summer or January if we can get an offer for him.
I know what you're thinking, Albert, but we'll go to Gary's next point. Attitude and ability. How do you think the manager will rank it?
Well, I think the modern game is ability's not enough. You've got to have the right attitude, mate. And you can't work with players from a coaching point of view, Gary, if they've not got the right attitude. So I think he would take attitude over ability every time. I know that sounds crazy, mate, but I think that's what he'll do. That's the sort of team he wants to build. Right attitude. He can work with players with good attitude. You can't work with players. Nobody can work with players that have not got the right attitude. I was going to name the boy Lowry, but that wouldn't be fair because I don't really know that much about the boy. We're just assuming he's not got a good attitude. He's definitely got ability, but it's just an example, mate.
Aye. It's funny you should mention that because I was watching the Club at 22 podcast earlier and somebody made a good point. They were talking about Shankland and somebody put up in the comments going for Shankland in January and use as a sweetener in exchange for Lowry.
Well, interesting. I'll be interested to see what. I'll be with Big Phil wants to do Southside, but I get where he's coming from. You don't think you don't think they would take Dessers then?
Maybe to sweep up at full time, aye, but
take him for ballast.
And then you come Southside.
I think it'd be a part exchange plus money, Gary. I think they'd value Shankland more than Lowry, but we'd get for him. I'd like to think if he gets the experience at Hearts and and the manager brings him back, and let's see what he thinks of him. You know, he deserves a fair chance, and he has been levelled like his attitude at times, and then he came out, I heard him speaking and saying that wasn't really the case. No, that was a bit misunderstood. So, but he's got a talent. He's a talent, and he probably needed to get out to something like Hearts or that, play in the Premier League, get a bit more experience, toughen himself up, and just get game time, more importantly. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. I'd be quite happy if he brings him back to have a look at him, to be honest.
Aye, definitely, and he's Scottish as well, which is an important thing now. So,
Albert?
Was this Lowry we on it?
Well, Shankland. Yeah.
Well, Shankland, I would see that. I listened to the conversation last night, and they were on about Shankland. The trouble we've got about, I mean, I think Shankland's a good goal scorer. I don't deny that. But the trouble we've got is everybody's saying deal with the Scottish clubs. They don't want to deal with us, and we're no snobbery or anything like that. If they wanted to deal with us fairly, I think Rangers would go for Shankland and make Lowry a make weight to get the deal done. But the trouble is, you've got to cast your mind back to Suter. I mean, they're trying to sell Suter as his last 6 months of his contract. He's free to sign for us, and they're wanting $500,000 for an injured player. I mean, this is the sort of deals they're wanting to deal with you. So they're not going to deal with us, mate. No club's going to deal with us. And we forget the Scott Allen debacle. I mean, that's what you're up against. I wouldn't waste my time with Scottish clubs. Just wouldn't waste my time. But Shankland, aye, I would take him. I would.
Would you, Gary? Would you take him?
Aye, I would. I mean, I think, there's that phrase, it's guys that are SPL ready. And I think when the majority of the fans are just really wanting now to re-establish ourselves domestically, as we know throughout the years, it's a strange game here in a lot of ways, and guys can come in and they just don't take to it. So I think guys that are SPL ready, I think Shankland would be a pretty low risk bet. But as Albert says, it's if they start talking silly money, then aye, that can kind of kibosh it kind of straight away. So if the money was right and the deal was right for Rangers, because that's one of the other things I think it's been spoken about a lot on this show and other forums, is that the crazy initial deals that we give out to folk on the kind of crazy money, I think is another thing with the club that kind of has to be looked at, as probably the accounts this week is highlighted, with the kind of wages and stuff. So I think it's for a lot of these players and a lot of these clubs, we should remember that we're doing them the favour. They're not doing us a favour. Do you know what I mean? We're bringing them to a bigger stage and giving good money to kind of like their kind of current clubs. So I think sometimes we forget that it's Rangers that should be holding all the cards in these discussions and know the other clubs. So if the money was right, I would take Shankland definitely.
I was talking to somebody today who was saying we could give even bigger basics outside, bigger basics. But if you're not on the team, your wages would be different.
Aye, but listen, we've had plenty of chances to sign him, Gary. He was a goal scorer. He scored goals at Ayr United. Then when he moved on to Dundee United, he scored goals there and all. Nobody sort of took the chance on him. And Hearts eventually went in and got him. And listen, if Hearts turned round, I don't know what he's got left in his contract, right? I don't. But just for instance, if Hearts turned round at any point and said we want £2 million or £3 million for him, are they angry asking that, Gary? Do you know what I mean? If he's scoring goals for him and somebody wants to come for him, at the end of the day, if it's 2 or 3 million, it's 2 or 3 million, and it's up to us whether we think we should pay it. Like you say, I thought he'd scored goals in the Rangers team. Also thought Kevin Nisbet, when he was available, would have scored goals in the Rangers team. And he's moved on down there.
18 months. Maybe a swap deal with Scott right there.
But listen, I don't know. I think the boat's probably sailed. I don't know if Clement will go for him or anything like that now, but I think he could have done his return a year or two ago, definitely. He'd have scored plenty of goals in the Rangers team.
I mean, I'm sure the manager's actually probably got a list of players, and contacts, and knows a lot of hidden gems in the Belgian league, etc., etc. So, like everybody said, we've got total confidence in the manager, and we'll trust his decisions. So, we'll just see what January brings.
I get a feeling with Clement that he'd watched that many videos and looked at all the markets that he would have listed of players before we even signed the job.
Wouldn't it surprise me? I mean, he said multiple times, he's kind of consumed by football. So yeah, that would not surprise me if he's got a list of names. And I think it was Alec that was on last Wednesday when I was first on, and he was saying that the positions he would sign. And yeah, I think for me, I totally agree. I think a left back, winger, and another striker if possible.
You don't think you need a midfield player, mate?
I mean, I think.
No number 10.
To be honest, when you think about it, no, because you're right. We've got there's a lot of bodies, but who's actually fit and who's kind of on form? Are you talking about a holding player, Ox?
Just a natural
in the midfield.
Not a number 10 player, not one of these. No, and I don't mean to be flippant, a Lammer style player. We don't need that. We need somebody who does the hard yards, no?
No, that's true. And to be fair, that's something probably Rangers have been missing for a long, long time. Somebody to come in and do that job consistently. That kind of keep saying that box to box guy, but it seems to be that. It's like somebody on our right wing. It's that elusive position that we've never quite cracked.
I'll let you hear Albert's theory on the right wing. Albert, let's hear it.
What did I say? You keep that spare. You can rotate players through that. Keeps the squad turning over. That type of theory you're talking about.
That one.
Well, it's actually, that's what's happening. That's what they're using it for at the moment. I don't see it as a great big problem, the right wing, that much, to be honest with you. I don't actually know what everybody's looking for. Is it just a right winger they're looking for? I think you need a position in your team to do that, to rotate your when everybody's playing well and nobody's running out of energy. Like, you just need that position to rotate your squad. But that's just my theory on it, mate. I just don't know. But don't ask me about tactics and formations, mate. I'm right out my depth at that.
That was a brilliant one. I'd be interested to see how it plans out. But the all the players come and go, and recruitment south side, it's not been perfect, but it's always tricky. It doesn't matter who it is. Every player's a gamble, isn't it?
If you're not signing the sort of experienced player that we're used to signing in the past, then it's a gamble. Same when you're trying to bring a young player through and get them into the first team, it's a gamble whether they're going to make it or not. You hope they do, and when you make all these signings, and at the moment, out of all the signings that he made in the summer, probably Dessers and Lammers are the two. Out the rest of the new, Kieran Dowell, obviously, I thought he showed wee bits, but he has to come in and start performing, and let's see what he's got. I thought he would come in and be able to play in our league, no bother, same as Cantwell could for coming for England, playing in the English league. Thought it'd be a breeze for the two of them. If they were, obviously with Dowell and off, he'd stayed fit. Raskin, I thought signing him should adapt. He's hungry. He was a wee buzz box, they said. And hopefully when he stays fit, you can see he's got potential. And can get forward. Cifuentes was the one that we were told box to box, mate, and at the moment he's not really fulfilled it yet. But I think if he gets a fitness programme and whatever he was saying, get them up to speed. And I think fitness, Gary, I know, hasn't helped a lot of the players for what they've been for the start of the season when some have been out injured and try to come back. So I'm hoping that over the next few weeks we'll see them stay on the park a lot longer, and they'll probably play, and we'll probably play most weeks once he gets a settled team in there. Will rotate one or two, but I think I agree with Albert. I think the right hand side is really important in January. I think you could get by with Scott Wright. I think you could get by with McCausland. I think you could even play Matondo there if you had to, or you keep him on the left. Tom Lawrence could go out and play slightly wider and also Seamer. Yep. So I don't think like the wide positions are really important at the moment going forward. I think that'll be one of his priorities in January.
Can you come, Gary?
I know, I would agree with that. I mean, I think probably, yeah, and I think even, to be fair, probably between Barisic and Yilmaz the now, unless someone spectacular at a good price was available, probably maybe striker then would maybe be you know, given the situation with Roof as well, it's pretty much just Danilo at the minute. Does anybody know how long Lovelace is out for? Because I've not really read up
January.
anything about.
We'll be back to January, mate.
January. So yeah, given the current situation and the situation with Dessers and stuff, I'd imagine probably bringing in another forward. If he could only get one, I'd imagine that's probably who he would. That would probably be the key position, I would imagine. But no, but it'd be interesting to see. Maybe it'll be in January. Maybe it'll be a loan deal or something like that, just to kind of get us over the line and then get him to next summer, and then the rebuild will really kind of start, I would imagine. So, but no, I've got total confidence in the guy.
Young Lovelace was unlucky, but maybe one night I might tell the story about Fox when he googled Lovelace Allbear, but maybe not.
Don't go too deep into that, Ox, now.
No, I won't. That young boy was unlucky, wasn't he? Come on, and I know it's only maybe half an hour we see him for. He went, 17. Go on, son, you know. And then he gets a real bad hamstring. Unlucky, yeah.
Just one of the things, mate. Just one of the things. But he's got his day. You've seen him. People are liking him, so he's up there. He's back to when he comes back, he should be walking straight into the first team squad and start training with them. Same as McCausland, same as Lyle. They're first team players as far as I'm concerned now, mate.
Oh, it's getting him on the bench. I mean, even on the bench, when you looked at the bench there, it was all senior pros pretty much outside the last game we played.
It was. That's why I said earlier, once they're all back, Matondo comes back as well into the fold. Scott Wright comes back into the fold. It'll be interesting to see if a young boy McCausland can hold his place in there with him on the bench. And at the same time, I would like to think when Lovelace comes back, he could promote him to into Roof's position if he's wanting to leave in the summer, January, or he doesn't get him back fit. You've got to try and give him a chance and keep him about the first team and get him some pitch time and see what he can do. And if we can get him firing and he starts to produce, then it saves us spending millions of pounds on somebody that you're going to take a gamble. As we say, every player's a gamble. We want to see these boys get in the team and try and flourish and get in and get into that first team and produce for us. Because at academy boy, actually we touched on earlier, people that were trying to sign the young boys now, if there's no a pathway and they can't see how you can get into a Rangers first team, and I know it's pressure and I know we've got to be successful and we've got to get a league win and everything else, but we've got to try and bring these boys through as well. And if a team's going to be successful going forward and they're playing with confidence, it's easier to introduce them as long as they keep up the standards. But I would just think, I'd like to think Lovelace could go into the first team and stay there and try and give him game time with McCausland, and hopefully that young boy Aaron Lyle will see something in him and maybe get him some game time going forward, Docs, because I think the fans would love him and all when they see him. But hopefully, as long as you take the attitude box, that's the most crucial thing in football. When you're a young boy and when you're joining football clubs, if you don't take the attitude box, most coaches just spin you. It's the most important one, Ox, you know that.
90% attitude, 10% ability, mate. Right, get yourself a mute, gentlemen. We're going to have a tune.
Oh, every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wandered down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. We've won the Scottish League almost every time. The League Cups assemble too. We get some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup. We are the cup winners true. And when the Rangers win the European Cup, as we've done with the one before, we'll gather round the Ibrox 50,000 strong to give the boys an Ibrox roar. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, how we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Feel free to write. Salted Company, all better than Southside. Gary, who was the other players? Who was the other players you mentioned when you first come on? I lost my notes.
Yeah, so I was talking about, basically started talking about the Lundstrom. It's a kind of no for me. And I think a lot of the guys that are out of contract, I think for most of them, it's time, as you say, Ox, to just shake hands and kind of part ways. I think, as you said, I'm sure the manager will have a list of guys that he's wanting to bring in. How many will he bring in January realistically? But there's probably enough there, I think, to see us over the line. I think this season we'll see how we kind of go in the league. But yeah, I can see us. We go about our business properly. We should pick up the League Cup at least. Hopefully, the Scottish Cup as well. It looks as if we're going to qualify out this group.
There's three guys on here might give you an argument about our competition. Albert.
What's that one, mate? I wasn't listening. Sorry, Will. I was writing something doing that.
All right, Southside, then you come.
Yeah, there's a league title to go for Gary.
Oh, I say aye. I mean, and I think, you know, we've still got that kind of like game in hand, and I think keep going the way we're going. I've just got a feeling that end of year game, I think that's on the cards for us to pick that up, because I look at them and they've got a manager who a lot of the supporters don't really want there, and I don't really get the impression Rodgers really wants to be there either. I think that unity between manager and players that, to be fair, they had last year under Postecoglou, I think that's now what we've got at Ibrox, and all I can see across there is division. So I think, if we can keep the pressure on, you're right, it's certainly kind of all to play for, absolutely.
Albert?
Still in our hands, isn't it? That's the way we look at it. So there's still a lot to play for. Nothing settled yet in the league, nothing at all. Look at a game in hand, win it, 5 points. That's very manageable. That's very, very. If we can overcome that, no problem, mate. That isn't any problem whatsoever. We'll still play them 3 times, blah blah blah. So it goes on. No, I'm confident we can still pull it off. Definitely, mate. And especially with Clement, if he gets these players to keep the standard they've got so far and raise it again and maintain it, I can see good things this season, because I don't think they're any great shakes. All this nonsense, they play brilliant football. I don't know, I don't watch them, but my mate watches a lot of them. He doesn't reckon they're all that good. So I still think we're in it. No getting it up anyway, put it that way.
Wow, that's a shock. You've got two mates. Right.
It's the same one with a mirror.
I am not giving nothing up, Gary. Not giving nothing up. Fancy to win the League Cup final, and then that'll help. That'll keep the good run going. And I don't think it's imperative we win the game at New Year. I'd like to, but if we win every game up to it and a draw there, I don't think it's a disaster, mate.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you would always kind of go in there. You know, you kind of generally always be happy to come away with something. And the thing I like about Clement is that even during the game, unlike some previous managers we've had, if he sees things dipping, he's no slow at letting the players know about it. You know, it's not like he's going to wait to get them back in the dressing room. They're told there and then. You know, there was that game, I can't remember what one it was, where he's near enough the end of the game and the game was won when he's getting tore into Dessers for not putting the proper effort in. So
Semi-final, mate.
Semi-final, that's right, aye. So really good signs. And no, you're right. There's still it's still kind of play for it. It's a nothing gap compared to where we've been in some seasons where it's been pretty much done. Sometimes at kind of at this time of year. So no, absolutely. Just the turnaround with the new manager. And you've said the last couple of nights, Ox, is it purely just down to him? And you look at it, I look at it, and I can't really come to any other conclusion. It's exactly the same guys who under Bill had chucked it, who done the kind of same with Gio as well. So again, it gets back to this attitude over ability thing. And to me, yeah, I think especially in Scotland, the Scottish game's about graft and determination. And if you apply that, then if you've got that skill and ability, that gives you that extra 10-20% that will win you 90+% of games. But if you don't, as Albert says, if you don't have that attitude, doesn't matter how good you are, especially in this country, you're going to come unstuck. And we've seen that with Rangers teams in the kind of recent past. So, no, it's definitely the right attitude for me. And Clement is he's definitely installing that in these players. Absolutely.
Cheers, mate. So I would say that's a good point that Gary makes, but the upturn's either down to Clement or it's down to Beale. It's either they were really fed up with him or Clement's come in and upped it.
Well, Sparta Prague first half probably shows what the players are more capable of, but never produced it, really, under Michael Beale. It's pretty straightforward, as I've said before. I remember Kenny Miller telling the story after Kashina came in, and I think it was about Kashina was in the door 6 days, and they turned around and said he's not got a clue. No, nothing. Tactics, the way he does training and all that. Players pick up and just think that it's not happening, and it's proved after a period of time that he had to go. Just think they've seen a different person, a professional person. It's like they worked with the apprentice and now they've got the tradesman in, you know, and he's a guy that knows the script, knows how to set out a team, demands the standards, and being a player, played international football and won titles, and he'll command respect, and the players have reacted to it. But when you think about Ryan Jack and Lundstrom, when you think about it, Gary, as well, we need Europe's where we need to do well in Europe, and they're too slow for European football. You see how quickly teams play in Europe in the midfield, and when you've maybe get Raskin and if Cifuentes gets something gets about the part, and if Kieran Dowell and somebody like Cantwell, Danilo chases down and all that, he's looking for a bit of pace in the team in midfield, and I think they too can't go forward with us when we're trying to compete in Europe and all and get as far as we can in the European competition. But first and foremost, we need to be back to winning in Scotland and winning the league. But going forward, Jack, Lundstrom, for me, I think Clement will be intelligent enough not to take them forward, because you couldn't have them in a midfield playing in Europe all the time. The game's moved on too quick for that for them.
They're not going to get quicker, mate, are they, Albert? You know what I mean? At that stage of their career.
No, you can't put speed into somebody's legs. No, I mean, well, you maybe do it when they're younger. You might get a wee half yard added to their pace or something like that. But you're like Dessers and all that. sorry to say, but you're just never going to make the guy quicker because it's no in him to be quicker. Got to go on with it. So you've got to develop them in other ways, and you've got to say, look, you can be a bigger influence this way if you play this style of football, go to these positions. So you can actually coach him into being a better player, but you can't coach him to run faster. That just doesn't work. That doesn't work that way. I feel sorry for this. I'd like the guy to be a good player. I'd like Lammers to be a good player as well. Time will tell. But one thing about Clement, I was listening to him saying the programmes he's got for the players, no separate programmes for each player because every player's different. He's also mentioning about weaknesses in their game, that he'll design drills and exercises today to improve the weakness in your game. So I'm more interested to see players getting a bit better in certain areas, especially their weaknesses. I don't know. I'm trying to think of one. I can't think of one at the moment. My mind's went blank. But you know what I'm saying? Because I often say that bibs and cones is one thing, but coaching to me is making a player a better player.
No, we
That's
get
what it's
good at.
about.
Golfers,
Exactly.
what they're good at, Terry.
No, that's exactly it, mate. So, and it's the fact that the coach is actually picking up and telling the player, that's your weak point, and letting the players has actually be going to him and say, this is my weak point, I want to work on this, and letting the coach go on with their job and bring up the exercises to make them better. So, I don't know. But I'm quite excited with the guy. He says, I quite like, he's a professional manager. You can see he knows what he's doing. The way he talks, the way he handles himself, he knows how to command respect for us. That's the first thing. And you know he's the boss. No, I mean, there isn't any question about who's the boss. He's the boss. And there is only going to be one boss. So the rest of them just accept it and go on with it and do what he's telling them to do, or they won't be there. That's for sure.
What one of the weaknesses that could take a bit of the Southsider.
Aye. Listen, it's like anything else. Once you get a clear picture and a vision for the manager, a style and tactics, and you know, we said it on here week in, week out. People that phoned in said it on week in, week out, right? Which style do we play and what's our tactics? Since Clement came in, you can see we've got a sort of style. You can see we've got a tactical way that we're no narrow now. Tav's not getting exposed. He's not going down the park all the time, but he's getting there. Sometimes we play down the left a lot in games. Sometimes we'll choose to play down the right. So tactically, maybe Clement's looked at the team, knows where their weaknesses is, adapts us to suit that. Playing Scott Wright when he's in the team, playing him on the right-hand side, because he always played on the right-hand side, doesn't get played out of position. But they've got a structure and a style, and they know what to do, and they're getting the instruction fed to them. And so far, it's only been a wee drop, but it's been decent and it's got better. And when you're going to the games, you're a bit more upbeat now because you know the team's going to come out and perform. And we've created chances, we've scored a lot of goals. So the players will buy into his ideas and what he's setting out. But I think it's going to get really a lot better. This is just baby steps, you know, but it's working and you can see it's working. So all I'm saying is it can only get better. That's the way it can only get better going forward.
I hope so. Gary?
No, I would agree. I mean, I think in a way getting Clement is kind of, you know, there's been talk over the years about when did the kind of banter years end. You know, some said it ended with, you know, winning 55, others said getting to the Europa League final, but maybe in a way getting Clement is, because really, with all due respect to Gerrard, who got his 55, and all due respect to Gio, who got us the Scottish Cup and the European final, Clement really is the first serious manager since Sir Walter, God rest his soul, to have a serious person in charge of the club again for a long, long time, and no, as we said the last time, taking punts on guys. It feels like we're a serious football operation again, even after a month. So, no, Southside's absolutely right. This is just the beginning. And if we can keep this guy, hopefully, for as long as we can, good things are going to happen. Good things are happening already. And it's only going to improve in my mind.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
That's good points. The Southside and Gary making their all better use similar. Do you think we've got a lot more improvement in us already?
Definitely. I mean, Gary put that excellent there, mate. That's exactly spot on, mate. Couldn't have put it better. If I thought for 1,000 years, we're now looking like a serious football operation. That is perfect, mate. That's the perfect way to describe us at the moment. And the improvement is there for everybody to see.
Oh, he's right. I'm excited if he gets another. I was hoping for 10. If you're talking 10%, you're saying it's going to be 20, 25, 30% Southside. I'm buzzing.
Well, the players are going to get a bit more fitness in them, and then he'll be able to, if he's wanting more press and to be a bit quicker and more mobile on the ball, they'll last longer on the park. They'll not be as tired, and they'll be able to play some of the schedules where he'll maybe pick a core of 9 players and they'll have them playing the 2 games of the week, and then going back into the Sunday. He might look at one. He's getting led by sports science, as he said as well. He's in contact with the medical team. So for me, I'm looking that he'll have these players in a matter of a good few weeks, the ones that he's putting the extra programmes into that over this period of time, the ones that are getting game time away with international players. I can just see the squad getting fitter as a whole, which is going to be good for us. And if the tempo gets higher, from what we've been watching, and we're creating chances and scoring goals, as long as we keep winning, Ox, and that's all we're looking for. And I think that's what will happen. I think going forward, when we've got these tricky away games, 6-8 weeks ago, we wouldn't be winning these games coming up away from him. We know that. We'd be struggling badly, but no, I'll go into them with confidence, and Aberdeen will be the one at Pittodrie. Looking forward to that, and I think we could go up there, no bother, and get the right result. There's no problem why we can't. Our record up there is pretty good, and I think we come on there, and I think the way the attitude the team's been showing and the reaction they're showing the manager, I'm no fearing that at all. Hard game, aye, but no fearing it one bit.
All right, we've been joined by Ross. Evening, Ross.
Hi, Ox. Evening, lads. How we doing?
How we doing, mate? Good to hear
Aye,
from you,
good.
mate. What's on your mind?
I've got a couple of wee points, mate. First of all, see regarding the museum, do you need to book that, or can you just turn up on the day?
Both, mate. Both. You can. There's
Both?
slots there if you turn up, and obviously you can book. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks. Regarding the Fitler, we all know that we've got an important period up until Christmas, but when the window opens, do you think, like, I was thinking about this, see if Danilo's missing, we're struggling for goals, aren't we? So do you think that we need to kind of, if we can, get rid of Dessers, try and get him away, and then try and get somebody else in?
That's going to be one of the hardest things in football, if that's what you think. Getting Dessers out and go, Alba.
Aye, it's going to be difficult to get rid of him, but I can see where you're coming from, Ross. If Danilo does take an injury or he's anything happens to him at all, we could be in trouble. But you've got to remember, there is other people scoring goals in the team. Even Lammers, Seema, they're all scoring goals. Maybe not enough goals, but they're still scoring goals. So I'm looking for more players all about the team to step up. Tab's scoring his usual 50 goals a season routine, know what I mean? So I'm looking for like Cantwell, Raskin, Lundstrom, Jack. Jack just scored the other day, McCausland, them all. I'm looking for all these players right up to step up to the plate. As for getting another striker, and I think that's going to be difficult, mate. You really got to spend money on these players, aren't you? And I don't think it's money we've got right at this moment to do that, unless we do get rid of Dessers.
I just think, Albert, that it's obviously it's a key area. Obviously, we know that, but from like going into the back end of the season, I just worry if Danilo's out. You know, like see at Livingston there, I thought, oh no, here we go. Where's the goals coming from? I don't know. I'd like another. As you said, maybe like Shankland, just to get us through to the end of the season. A goal scorer. Do you know what I mean?
Southside.
Ross, did you not tell me at Livingston when I met you that was Dessers up and running now? You expected at least 10, 15 at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it was something that big man.
I know what you mean. Mate. It could be a problem. I think we could probably use Seema through the middle, to be honest. I'd even like to hope that, I know it's a long shot, but you'd hope Lovelace would be fit and higher by any chance, who knows, if Roof could even take the park, I don't know where he sent him, but hopefully it works wherever it is, and he comes back for a short period of time. We'll have him, Ross, because you know yourself, if he's on the park, he can score goals. But I agree, Danilo's the one I think it will start going forward all the time now. I would think, you can see the work rate off him and that, and he's probably doing what Clement wants him to do, Ross, So, aye, it's a wee bit. I think we might go in the summer and see, but I don't think we'll buy anybody in January for the striking position, boss. I don't see that happening. And I think the boat sailed with Shankland, mate. I think it'd be too much money probably now.
Is his contract at the end of the year? Did I hear someone say that?
18 months. 18 months. 18. We checked it. 18 months. Quite a popular time with this panel, 18 months. Right, Ross, I think there's more chance of Ruth gone in January than Dessers.
It wouldn't surprise. It's a fair point, mate. His record is, injury wise, it's not been good enough for probably what he's taken at the club, But Southside, as you said, when he plays, his goal ratio is pretty good, but we just can't get him on the park enough, can we? So every chance that he could be away in January.
Do you know if Dessers scores against Aberdeen up at Pittodrie, that'll be 4 league games in a row he scored?
It's a start, isn't it?
Mental all better.
Oh, I tell you, it's just mad. It's what we perceive in it. It's unbelievable. He's there to score goals, and he is scoring goals. But yeah, we don't believe that he's scoring goals. I was the same as Ross. I mean, I wouldn't credit him as a great goal scorer, but there you are. The figures don't lie, do they?
No, it'll be interesting. Gary, what's your thoughts, mate?
I mean, with Ruth, I was just thinking there, has anybody ever thought of sending him down to Lourdes? Maybe that'll do the trick.
Steady now.
I mean, I think, yeah.
Why would you want to visit Southside's old school?
Yeah, I don't think there was I was at an academy, and that, so don't you start your nonsense.
Carry on, Gary.
I mean, I think, yeah, hopefully we can keep Danilo. I mean, one guy that wasn't mentioned there was if he can get back a run in the team, I'd expect Tom Lawrence to be chipping in the goals as well. So there's somebody else that could hopefully contribute in that, and once Cantwell kind of gets back up to speed as well. So yeah, there's goals out with, as we have been for the past few years actually. We're kind of, we've maybe not had the most prolific strikers in recent times, but we've a lot of time had enough contribution for other areas of the park. We may not be rallying up sometimes the cricket scores, but we've normally got enough to win the game and get the 3 points or get into the next round, whatever it may be. So, I think, yeah, you always want as much firepower up front as possible, but I think everybody fit and fully firing, I think there's kind of goals all over that team, to be honest. So
I think it would be hard if, it's bringing on us. Let's just say you shoot Collinsworth with hypothetical here and let him move on with his life if that's what he wants to do. And then you're only left with 2 strikers. This bringing on a second or third striker is always difficult Southside, because Danilo looks as if he could be the man. Could be.
Aye, that's the usual. Try to get a striker to come if he's not going to be first choice striker. We finished the season before without any fit strikers, haven't we? We know that. But no, I think, listen, Dessers, he might start. Listen, if he scores a goal a game and keeps going the way he's going, then it'll be hard to argue. At the end of the day, he's there to score goals. and contribute. And I think Clement's already said that. I don't think he's really interested in a prima donna player. I think he wants a workman-like team that all press, try, work hard, and all work for each other. So I think the goals could be spread about the team, the way that we're starting to play and the chances that we're creating. And as we see, Seamer, Danilo, Dessers, Lammers hasn't realised he's only scored one there in the last wee while, but Cantwell's got goals in him. Raskin's been hitting the target. And obviously Tom Lawrence could score, Matondo. So if the team's functioning and creating, then there's no reason why we've named the players. They've all been on the score sheet. So I don't think Danilo being, you want him fit and you want him firing and scoring goals, but I do think that there'll be other goals coming from other parts of the team, including Scott Wright. Forgot about him.
Oh, wow, that's a bold statement. I know he scored in the semi-final, but it's still a bold statement.
He scores at Hampden, didn't he? Well, play him in the final then. Play him in the final then.
He only scores in Hampden against Hearts, mate.
Play him on December the 17th. He'll probably start.
He might if he's fit. You back ways, Ross?
Aye, back ways. Sorry, I didn't know what happened there.
That's all right, mate. It's going to be interesting. Are you happy with the manager? No spoke to you, obviously. Are you happy with the manager? Your initial reaction?
Ajax, I think he's done brilliant since he's came in. I think the big difference is now that we had a coach. We've got a manager now. A manager that knows what he wants. He knows how to set a team up. And I think by the time he gets a couple of windows, he's going to know what players that he wants for this setup, you know. But the only small little thing I've got, I just love to see Cantwell in that number 10 instead of Lammers. I really would.
Aye, there's a wee small thing I know. It's just me, but everybody's different. I prefer in-swinging corners. You know, but I think Cantwell number 10. I don't disagree with that. Orange number 10. I don't disagree with that either. Albert.
No, I don't agree with any of that. But I don't disagree with any of that. It's the number 10 role for Cantwell is his role. We all know that. But whether he wants him to play it and it fits into his overall strategy with the team, that remains to be seen. And I'm not quite convinced about that yet, because he's mincing about with him on that right hand side, and he's mincing about with Lammers as the number 10. I'm going to try and second guess him. If it works, it works, and at the moment it's working because we're winning the games, and we're getting to finals, and we're getting progressing in Europe, and we're cutting the lead in the league, the points back. And so I'm just going to sit back and enjoy what he's up to. You know what I mean? I couldn't second guess it, mate. I really couldn't. But we might get back to the striker. The question is do we really need to spend money on a striker at the moment? Ruffett, for example, I think the boat's sailed. I think we just need to gear up him, because we cannot keep doing this. If it's not going to happen, I've just wrote him off now in my mind. I've just put a pen right through him. It's done. It's finished. It's over. We need to go and think and build the team without him being any part of it. And that means Lovelace and all these young boys getting a chance to. Pity we've not got a centre forward that can come in through the youth team and play centre forward. Lovelace is, I think, a winger, isn't he, Southwood?
Well, he will play he does play as a striker, but because of the setup they've got with McCausland in the number 10, and you buy the two of them sort of interchange up front, and they play. Well, Lovelace played left and Archie Stevens plays right, didn't he? They were playing that way up front, and wee boy McCausland plays the number 10 and floats in between the two of them, does a link up. It's a good wee setup they've got when they're playing, but it's trying to get them in. I would like to promote Lovelace, like you say. I think his time's got to come in. He's got to come on, he's got to look at him, and he might fancy him. And if he does the right things that he asks him to do, then he deserves his chance in the team, and he'll probably get promoted. So we need to find space to try and promote some of the youth, because all we're doing is buying players. How much can we get rid of them for? Dessers isn't working, but to pay $4 million, we need to get rid of him. No, I'd rather we develop him and he be successful and we turn it around and he contributes. I don't care if he doesn't score every week. Don't care if he's an impact player. But if he comes on and grabs you a goal and we can get something out of him and it's working, then so be it. you know, I don't want any of them to fail at all
Here's
when
a
we sign them.
Here's a start for yourself. If he did score that goal against Aberdeen, that'll him scored the same amount of league goals as Shankland.
Aye. Aye. If only. I know what you're saying. Stats, I know. But listen, he's signed in to score goals. Maybe come on, will get a tune at him and assist him and something at times. He'll no start every week, I don't think. I think Danilo's got that jersey on him now, and he deserves to be. But I just want him when he comes on, if he comes on or when he starts, I want him to contribute and score for the Glasgow Rangers, because at the end of the day, that's what we want, a successful Rangers team. It doesn't matter who's in it. And even when we've got a successful Rangers team, every Rangers fan out there will find a player in it he doesn't like anyway or shouldn't be in the team. So that's just the way we are.
That route march I sent you, Ross, yeah?
Yeah, aye.
Let me know the dates. I might bring some people.
Right, okie dokie. I will do, mate. Absolutely, that's fine.
And for my boot. Right,
no, that's good, mate. Listen, lads, I'll let you crack on. I'll go and listen in for the next half an hour, all right? Southside, nice seeing you again on Sunday, big man.
Aye, likewise, buddy. It was good to see you.
All right,
it was good to see the wee Ian, mate. All the wee cracker.
Aye.
All the best.
Aye, thanks, pal. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Are you still sitting? You still dining out winning that cup?
What's that, mate?
You still dining out winning that cup?
What, the Bulls?
Aye.
Oh, listen, it's their name's on it now, so it's not coming off.
Right, okay. You said it, no
Just
me.
need to back it up next year, won't they?
Aye. Brilliant, mate.
So we will.
Brilliant.
No, but listen, lads, have a nice weekend, all right? And we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, Ross.
All the best, Ross.
Right, lads. Right, see you
See you later, Ross.
The top man with Ross, isn't he, Southside?
Aye. I had the good fortune to meet him at the game at Livingston. Aye, had a wee chat with him. Aye, he's a top banana.
Top man. His story about Seville was brilliant. Albert drove down with his mate.
What happened? Get stuck?
No, just the trip. Through France.
Right.
Brilliant. Gary, the January transfer window, I don't think we'll do a lot of deals. I think somebody mentioned 2 or 3. That's maybe max, eh?
Yeah, max. I mean, it might just be, it could just be one. You just never know. I mean, again, he'll no bring him in just for the sake of it. So it will be depends kind of who's available and if it's going to be the right fit for the club, even if it's a kind of short term. So yeah, I mean, you never really sign more than that in January traditionally anyway. So, but if it's not going to be the right people, what he feels is the right people, then it could potentially be nobody if it's not going to be the right fit for his team and what he wants to do. And as Southside said, and as the manager said himself, hopefully is. And he's not just paying lip service to it, he is having a serious look at what we've got in the academy, because for a whole host of reasons, we've got to make this start to work. Otherwise, it's just a complete waste of time, money, and kind of resources. So hopefully, he sees a couple of, he sees some potential in what we've got in the kind of academy system, and gives some of these guys a chance. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting window.
Aye. It will be, because we'll be really interested to see what position Clement goes for first. If that makes sense, Albert. It might not be his priority. It might just be who's available. Maybe we'll read too much into it, but it'll still be interesting.
Oh, definitely interesting. My preference is a midfielder like yourself. And I was thinking you were talking earlier on about kind of midfielder, and I'd wrote 2 names down, either a McCall or a Souness, that type of player. That's what I think we need, you know what I mean? Because we've got too many other type players.
They're easy to get, aren't they?
Oh, there's plenty of them. I mean, you can look in the lower divisions, there's bundles down there. They come along once in a generation. But But you know what I'm saying, that type of player, that midfield, just a midfielder who knows how to play midfield, basically.
Stevie G.
Aye, Stevie G, that type thing.
He might be unemployed, maybe need a job by then.
Oh. That'd be a hefty pay out, that one, eh?
Both. When they bother you with it. You wouldn't be upset, would you?
You're sacked. Oh, well, okay. Just start filling his suitcases up with the cash.
Just put it on the bank. What about you, Southside? You're the man. You've got to pick one position first, and you've got to go for it. What are you thinking?
I think when he goes to get he's trying to go for a striker. I think he'll go for a striker. That'll be his main priority, I think.
Does that mean Roof's away then? Is that what that means?
Roof will be away, aye. Aye, definitely. But and Seema will go in the summer and all. We'll no manage to keep Seema. Brighton don't sell players for cheap, and I think he'll be well out of our price range. So we'll need to add more firepower. So I think he'll be looking for a striker.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll be joined by another bowler. Must be the off season. We'll be joined by AK. Evening, AK.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Albert. Southside. Gary.
Evening, AK.
Hey, Al, how are you doing, mate?
Aye, all right, boys. All right. Enjoying the chat there tonight. Good to hear the Gary on again. Good point. That was my point you picked up on, by the way, about Shankland earlier. Possibly putting Lowry in as an option to buy, but I don't know. I mean, just with the 18-month deal left, you know, it could work out for both Lowry and us with that finance. But my point was the night about the Aberdeen ticket fiasco. I don't know if you've seen that news breaking the day that Mr. Burrows has made a right rip-roaring see it, basically, with basically putting the tickets out in general sale, and Rangers supporters have allegedly snapped up tickets. Do you think he should be punished with it, or do you think he will be punished with it? Because he's basically made that a security risk, and Aberdeen will need to resell all their tickets again for the ones that they sold in public.
I think the point that Alex Wishaw made last night, that maybe it'd be better for our club if it was safe and secure and no potential for any spots are bought into that. But that means I need to get rid of these 5 tickets. Southside.
I know, Big Stevie would be disappointed when he heard to get 5 tickets back. Nah, kidding aside, it was a bit of a shambles, Alex. I heard something earlier, they've refunded they're going to refund all the money back for the tickets and all that. It's up to them at the end of the day. I think Bears will just be hoping that they're going to get their tickets to see the Rangers, obviously. It'll probably be interesting. I don't know if they'll probably not sell on their full allocation anyway, and they might put some on, be moving them about a bit and maybe extending it round a wee bit for the Rangers support if they're struggling. But we'll wait and see. But I think the majority of the support that have got a ticket coming, mate, I'll be glad that they're actually getting one to go to the final. But it's just a shambles, buddy, as usual, isn't it, for Aberdeen?
It's not their problem, mate. It's their problem. And else, AK?
Well, the kind of thinking on it, from Burrow's point of view, is I'll show them, you know. He was basically putting it out there because Aberdeen were entitled to the 50-50 split, so we'll sell our tickets as quickly as what Rangers would sell them. But from my point of view, and for all of you guys that have got season ticket and you will be at it again, you're entitled to be at it again, but that only satisfies 25,000 of your support. I think we've got 46,000 season tickets, so 21,000 is going to be missing out. I think Aberdeen have got 9,500 season ticket holders. I think their average gate's about 13,500. So they've still got half of their crowd that's gone down to Glasgow just for the day out.
Aye, never go.
Aye, well, they'll need to resell the tickets because it was obviously going to be a security risk, and I think it was just stupidity for Burrows on that behalf. And the SFA and the SPFL are quick enough to take our club to court over the cinch and stuff like that. I think we should be, highlighting how incompetent the guy Burrows was for doing this in the first place. That was all.
It wouldn't be our place to do it. We can just laugh at them there, laugh at them.
Who is this guy?
He was the ex-Motherwell CEO. He's moved to Aberdeen, hasn't he?
Right.
And he was also the guy that, remember when Morelos got hit with the cup of Bovril, that there were nothing to be seen. Mind that a couple of years ago.
Right.
So there lies the agenda.
Listen, you're right about the demand. I mean, that's the problem. I've got a quite simple thing, mate, Southside. Yeah? Simple thing with all this. We have this debate doesn't matter if it's us or whoever, because of Scottish football unique, if you take the maximum, you only get what you get in the semi-final, what you can take. Yeah? So if they come and they take 12,000 and they send tickets back, they don't take half the stadium, that's all they get for the final. Yeah? Is that fair?
But a simple way to do it, aye. But you know what it's like, everybody wants a day out. I mean, you seen Motherwell, was it Motherwell St Mirren or something? Played a cup final and they more or less filled it, didn't they? And that's what they want to do, go to the final just because their teams go there once in a lifetime. But no, you're never going to satisfy demand for the Rangers support. Our season tickets are our season ticket holders. It's just massive, and Hampden can't accommodate it unless you just squeeze most of the stadium and give them a couple of thousand. But even the sponsors are going to take 7,500 to the ticket shops as well. So it is what it is, and people have got their debenture seats at bottom. You could buy a seat for life at Hampden if you remember. And the BT stand. There's a lot of people go to him as well, so they're entitled to go and sit in their seat.
Who wants to buy a seat at Hampden for life? I'd rather have life in Berlin.
I thought you were a big take that fan, Albert.
Come on, I take that. They can take that. Take Hampden. That's what they can take.
It needs knocked in. I think what else is coming to take this to Gary after yourself. It's just not big enough.
Aye, well, that's always going to be. But it depends on the clubs that's involved in it as well. I mean, Rangers Celtic, obviously, they'll fill it, no problem. They're the only two clubs, for me, that should be a 50-50 split. The rest of them, I think they should be working out their average kind of home gate and kind of complement, the guys who go to the games every single game instead of, getting these people that's just going to be like turning up for like the glory day sort of thing. How does that encourage actual supporters to go to the games when they're distributing tickets that way? It just that it doesn't make sense. Either that, or as you say, maybe take it to Murrayfield then, and that'll obviously bigger capacity there, and then see what the response is there.
I mean, to get 2 stones done 70,000, they'll not know what to do. Gary, in you me.
I mean, I think with the Hampden thing, and it's interesting Murrayfield was mentioned there, because it may be time, as you said, Ox, the fact that it is the two big giants up here, and anybody else kind of would struggle to fill it. Is it time to maybe think about one national stadium for just sport rather than football? So have one stadium where, and obviously, I mean, there could be kind of scheduling issues right enough with different events, but have one venue for like football and rugby. I don't know. Do we need
snooker?
Is Hampden used enough to kind of warrant, especially the state of it? I don't know. It's a tricky one with Hampden. It's not a good stadium. We all know that. But I don't know. There's a few different options, I suppose, you could look at kind of going forward with that. And obviously with the political side, you could use Ibrox or the Savile Dome, but we know if it's the SFA who they're going to favour if it comes to that kind of thing. So, I'm not too sure.
They could have a real problem if our stadium becomes 70,000 Southside, but couldn't they? I know it's not going to happen next week.
No, Hampden's just like it was in the old days, really, apart from the pit seats in it. There's nothing really changed. Feel like you think back to it's like in the old stadium when you were there. The view's still the same and all that. Is what they've done. They've changed it slightly, but it's nothing. They're too far away. Murrayfield's probably a shout. Murrayfield's probably a shout for it. That would appease the Rangers support as well to get in the whole lot of the season ticket holders and that. But Rangers try to do it as fairly as they can through the MyJers loyalty scheme on the continuous credit card scheme that we started a way back when we were doing the leagues. So it's just what it is, Ox. But as we're hoping for is when we get there, whoever manages to get in lucky enough, they'll have a ticket. We just want to see a Rangers victory, and I'm sure we will.
Aye.
Albert, why don't they just rent Wembley? You get it over. That satisfies everybody. It's big enough. Everybody gets a ticket, and it's no a home advantage that they keep accusing everybody in Glasgow of getting. So just rent Wembley. It's easier.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny again. Going back to Keith's point, Albert, that Burrows came out with why the Rangers always get the West End. Yeah. Oh, turn up. How petty you getting, no?
He's a clown. I don't know the guy, but I just know he's a clown. But another argument that's been going for decades upon decades upon decades that there is no answer to. It's just nonsense, mate. Absolute nonsense. They were all happy. It seems to be just Rangers, but then I never hear any of this argument any other time, really. Right, if I never pay attention to any other club, but anyway, it never seems to raise its head, this argument about allocation. There you go. I don't know why. It's just Rangers. Seems to be Rangers all the time. Wembley for me, mate. That gives you a good day out, doesn't it?
Maybe it's because it's Rangers. They've got a bit of demand. Maybe that's the problem, eh?
I think that is part of the issue, and that's obviously part of the attraction for Aberdeen as well. Because it's us, there's no love lost between the clubs. We all know that. But I think that it's just that it looks as if he's trying to look good in front of the Aberdeen supporter. Oh, look at our demand. We can sell out 17,000 tickets. We could have got more out tickets. But then they're like, but you made an air set, pal, because you've put that out for public sale when it should have went to Aberdeen supporters only. So it looks stupid in his part. And as I say, punishment-wise, if there's anything coming, then Aberdeen should be getting hurt with it. But as usual, they'll just discreetly, conveniently forget about it.
What are they going to punish them for?
Well, as Alex Favishi said the other night, you could have had a security risk there. You imagine showing up at that game and you've got sections of Rangers supporters in amongst the Aberdeen boys.
Well, the punishment is they're not allowed to play Celtic for the next 5 years.
They've not played them for the last anyway.
Oh, see, the thing is, see a beating Sunday, they'll not even fill Pittodrie when we go up there.
No.
And you watch, mark my words, we'll be up there, and I'll guarantee you there'll be spaces at Pittodrie. They'll not fill that when we go up there a week on Sunday. Not a chance. And they greet about cup final tickets, you know what I mean? It's just hypocrisy, mate. Anything to get their sale in the news.
You know something, Southside? See if we'd have beat them at Ibrox, and we should have done. Let's be honest, the game should have been finished before they scored. They'd have been sitting both in the league this day.
Aye, we missed glaring chances that day. And then stupidly just...
They would have been sitting both in the league.
Mm-hmm. Aye, he's not got long to go. He'll get the bullet and all. Barry Robson, he'll get a bullet. But the most important thing is they'll try. You'll see the effort and everything else when we go up there. I mean, we get the hatred the minute we hit the twin centre into the city. You get it, but we're used to it. But you'll see the fight and the heart come for them. But hopefully, you'll knock it right out them, and that'll be more pleasing than the journey back down the road. But Aye, they'll be well up for it when we got there a week on Sunday. You'll see the difference for the application that they showed against that mob across the city just a few weeks ago. And Albert said it on here last year or the year before. Aberdeen gave them 12 points a season they start. No. And what did it say the record was? 32 wins out of 34?
34 out of 36.
Was that? There you go.
And can you remember the last time they did win, guys, was when
it was the last time.
The purveyors of Sporting Integrity laid into them to make sure we finished third, and then at the end they were all hugging each other. Sporting Integrity indeed.
Right, okay, just before we go, lads, I think we should turn our focus on something that's maybe very important in football. But we're in Robert's day, and he's maybe trying to do his bit for good causes, and we want to wish him well, Albert. Tomorrow night he's doing a big sleepout at Ibrox to try and raise money. And if you want to, I'll get the website sent to me. I wanted the advert, but I get refused. There was a lot of reasons for it. Albert, I want to wish him
I wish him all the best, mate. And if you're allowed to go down with flasks of soup at 2 a.m, I'll come down and bail him out, mate, because I don't stay up far away. If he's allowed a support team, but well done to him. Aye, and I wish him all the best, and safety as well. Know what I mean? Wrap yourself up, son. Wrap yourself well up.
Yeah. So if you want to donate it, it's tinyurl.com at Roberts Sleepout. That's the Just Giving page, and obviously all the money's going to the Rangers Charity Foundation to distribute. Brilliant Southside there.
Aye, phenomenal. I wish him all the best, Robert. I know it'll be called for him, so I think Alex Kelly's going to sort him out with a pair of Lammers pyjamas. So, see what happens there.
Oh, you a big fleecy pyjama man, AK?
No, that's Southside's pyjamas. He's got the Lammers pyjamas.
No, Southside goes, as Albert will tell you, Southside goes commando.
I am. I'm Lit Lundstrom. I go in the nude.
I'm not going to sleep at night thinking about that nonsense. That scared me, that one. That's a nightmare on its way for me.
Yeah, Ox, I got to laugh last night. Andy Phillips, man, he refused to call me his name. He got him with the short and curlies on that one. Brilliant. It's guy.
It's only just started, isn't it?
Brilliant. But good luck, Rob. I've already made my donation to him, so good luck.
Brilliant,
for the cause.
Brilliant. You're always there first when it comes to charity, big man. Salute you for that. Gary.
Aye, all the best to you, Robert. Brilliant effort, mate, and a worthwhile cause, and just again, it's something that Rangers supporters and Rangers as a club, our charity donations over the years have been kind of second to none, and this is another fantastic event for something that's a real problem. I mean, you go into Glasgow, and I've seen it myself in the past 5 to 10 years. The homeless thing seems to have exploded. And it's heartbreaking to see, and in a country like this, there's really no excuse for it. So, aye, good on you, mate. Good on you.
Yes, we're proud of you, Robert. Taking the cudgel up. Maybe the dream team will do it next year.
Oh, aye, definitely. I'm putting that forward for them to get it. And the one sleeping bag as well, wrapped up together. I don't
know if it'd be a sleeping bag big enough. No, for me, for him, I can get away with mine, but I don't know about him. We need a tent or something.
he's
a gazebo. I think if they let us do it in a gazebo, we'll do it.
Brilliant.
I can see Big Stevie sleeping next to the burger van.
They might still have the gazebo for the old AGMs when the Spivs were there.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm out in the park, remember?
Last word for your good self, Gary. Good to hear from you again, mate. Hope you enjoyed it.
I did, mate. Listen, speaking of the AGMs there, we're talking about that. We've touched on the stadium. developments, I'll not be able to make the AGM due to kind of work commitments. Is anybody gone? I'm just wondering if the stadium expansion, if that will be an item agenda for the AGM.
I'm sure there'll be questions, maybe things, because you put it to the public, people want to know what's happening. But we'll keep you informed because we've got a few people about the AGM.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
All right. AK.
Great show tonight again, guys. Enjoyed it as usual. And final good luck to Rob for the weekend. Keep warm, pal. But well done, boys.
Yeah. Albert.
I enjoyed the night, mate. Enjoyed it with the guys. Very good. Enjoyed the chat. And best of luck to Robert. Keep yourself warm, son. Keep yourself wrapped up. Oh, I can only imagine what that temperature's going to be tomorrow night.
I'll be speaking to Mrs. Albert, telling her you're doing it next year.
I'll be taking her away, me. She's nice and warm at night.
Southside.
Aye, no, thanks for having us on. It was good to do a show tonight with Albert. Feels like I've been hanging about with him all day. So I know, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed the show, mate. Good to get a chat about all things about Rangers and different topics and things, you know. So thanks for having us on. Just missing getting to see the famous Glasgow Rangers this weekend. So just need to hope this week goes quick, mate, till we get back to see the famous.
9 days, isn't it? 9 days, mate, yeah?
Aye.
9 days. Listen, thanks to Gary, Ross and AK for joining us, of course. Albert and Southside for doing the show. But the man who stole the show tonight was your young Robert, who's doing the big eye works tomorrow. And if you've got any shekels, get donating. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Monday night talking about all things Rangers. And you might get an update on how Robert's doing on social media. Take it away, old school boy.